Autism is a neurological disorder that has genetic and environmental components. We don't have the exact answers as to what the weight is with either of those, and it is defined under 3 domains: communication, social, and repetitive behaviors.
It is a developmental disorder, not a unique disease process. As a result of that, people with autism who share those 3 challenges also can be very, very different in how much they are impacted. And because we're talking about people with autism and not autistic people, the people part is very important in that.
Commonwealth Autism Service is building a statewide support system for persons diagnosed with autism in the state of Virginia. That includes from birth all the way through the lifespan. We address their educational needs, their life skills needs, their job skills. We work with courts, we work with schools, we work with the legislature to try to have a unified approach to this growing problem.
I think Commonwealth Autism was really essential to create because at the time, and even up until now, there really was no system for capturing resources for families or teachers or providers or anyone else in terms of, how do you work with an individual with autism? What are the characteristics? How do you identify them?
In the very early beginnings, we were direct services. We were working with families one-on-one with very limited resources. We were working out of borrowed space.
In honesty, it's probably grown far beyond what we anticipated as we were sitting around that kitchen table trying to figure out what was going to happen for our kids. It provides such critical services and has now for, about 15 years.
CAS to me represents a partnership throughout the state in various communities that we operate, particularly working with school systems and integrating themselves with the teachers, working with them hand over hand to face the challenges and to meet the challenges that they deal with day to day with the children in their population.
Part of what we're trying to do is build a network of support for the school districts and the administrations throughout the state of Virginia. Our goal is to come into the school, do a needs assessment, stay in the school system for 2, 3, 4 years. At the end of that time, the school system is self-sustaining and can train their own staff and their own paraprofessionals on an ongoing basis.
When that network is ideally created, then the need for us as catalyst, as model grower, etc., is really obsolete. And in the ideal, we hope to make ourselves obsolete in the future. That's mission accomplished for us.
When a family first finds out that they have a child that has been diagnosed with autism, it clearly would come as a shock. It did to us years ago when our child was diagnosed.
As a parent, it's a pretty devastating diagnosis to receive. Maybe less so now, although I doubt it, than when my son was diagnosed 20 years ago.
In my capacity as a behavior analyst at Commonwealth Autism Service, I come into contact with a lot of parents who have very recently found out that their children were diagnosed with autism. Their main question is, what next?
We almost felt like our son had been taken away from us. We had waited so long for him, and then everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, he stopped talking. You feel like your child's taken away, and it's no explanation. You say, what is autism? There's no explanation, and what caused it? You blame yourself. That's autism. It's a puzzle.
Early intervention can exponentially improve the quality of life of individuals with autism. One of the things we're most proud of here at CAS is our diagnostic clinic, which sees children at a very young age and determines whether or not they're on the spectrum. And if in fact they are, and that can be followed up with an early intervention program, the quality of life of a child with autism and their family is positively impacted over the lifetime of that child.
We need lots of organizations and individuals to support us so that in fact we can help do our job. That goes to working in public-private partnerships with government. It goes to working with other private organizations so that we can move the mission along. It goes to letting philanthropists in the community know about the work we do and what an investment we are in terms of the kinds of outcomes we can produce in a way that young people with autism can be seen as full participants in the society, as making contributions back as they age, and for us to facilitate that happening.